Hi, today we're going to be analyzing a poem with a poem analyst, Jason Busby. And Jason, would you like to come in here, please?
Everybody, round of applause for Jason.
Yeah, Jason. How are you doing today, Jason?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, meet you.
I already know you, Jen.
My bad.
So how you guys doing?
We're doing great. What poem are you going to be talking to us
Well,
about?
I brought with me today "Then Was My Neophyte" by Dylan Thomas,
Nice.
and I chose this poem strictly off the title, actually, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Actually, I love the title. First of all, the word neophyte really stood out to me. I thought that was a very interesting choice. You know, that connotes youth, innocence, because neophyte actually denotes beginning at something, being a beginner to a subject, a skill, or a belief. And that is definitely honed in on throughout the poem. And also the passive voice of the title really stood out to me. Then was is something that it almost gives a feeling of melancholy, like something came and something passed. So yeah.
Okay. And what would you say is the theme of your poem?
Well, I would say that the theme of my poem is that that we all collectively go through this experience where we don't recognize that the time we have, or that the innocence that we have, or that the love we have will one day run out. And it has a very negative outlook. It's very pessimistic in the sense that we will all lose that innocence, that youth, and that love. But we will, before we actually lose it, we will never acknowledge that we will lose it.
Okay.
Did you get to that theme based on any syntax?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of syntactical methods that Thomas uses. One is he likes to use the relative pronoun who to start out subordinate clauses to define certain things. Like when he describes children, he uses the phrase "who speak on finger and thumb," which really showcases that innocence. Another very important syntactical element of the poem is actually the use of questions, rhetorical questions, especially in the last stanza when he asks. He begins the last stanza, "Who kills my history?" and he continues with that "who," that poem, and at the very end he asks. Well, rather he says in a quote from Mann, "Time shall not murder you," and he ends with the final statement, "I saw time murder me." So it's very profound.
Okay. So how would you say you reached that theme through the imagery or the diction that Thomas used?
So I'll begin with imagery, actually. And in the first stanza, when he describes this loss of innocence, he says, "Snail of man in his ship of fires that burn the bitten decks knew all his horrible desires." And so that image right there of like a flaming ship shows like that innocence just burning up in flames. And another image is that he references the labyrinths, and I kind of took that as like an allusion to the mythological story of the labyrinth and the Minotaur, and actually almost like personifying time as the Minotaur itself that we try to escape from. So that image as well. And what was the other thing you said? Diction?
Diction, yeah.
Diction, yeah. There's one line that really stands out to me when it describes the child who begins to understand time. It says that the green child see like a grail through veil and fin and fire and coil, time on the canvas paths. And I think that's just a beautifully eloquently written statement, and the diction there, and again with syntax with the polysyndeton in there, you really see what that kid is experiencing.
All right, so I think we're running out of time here, but we would like to talk about some closing statements with the poem. What does this poem mean to you?
It really made me think about the time I have and the love I have to give, and that the innocence I have right now, being young, will one day dissipate. And that's a very profound thing, because you have to realize that you can't take advantage of this, because, you know, in the end, none of us want to have this statement, "I saw time murder me," be true. And so it really made me think that I need to live in the moment, and not only live in the moment, but acknowledge that that moment won't last forever. So if something's troubling me, to just get over it. If I'm loving something, to enjoy that to the full extent.
Indeed.
I can.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed to be on the show.
Today, Jason Busby.
I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
I was told I'll be back next week with Gwendolyn Brooks. Is that what the special is?
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. Please get out of here.
Yeah, we know each other.
Seeing
now.
you.
We
Yeah,
know each other.
okay.
Please get out of here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I hated him.
I know.
Hated him. Well, thank you very much. We are now done with this particular podcast. Please join us next week.
Boom!
Please get out. Please get out of here.
Your time is up, my time is now.
Okay.